Listen carefully. What I'm about to tell you isn't motivational fluff. It's not another recycled speech about believing in yourself or walking tall. That's for the masses. That's for the fragile. What I'm about to show you is the single most dangerous trait of true confidence, the one Machiavelli himself whispered into the ears of rulers, generals, and kings. It's not about how loud you are, how hard you flex, or how many people clap for you. The truth? The most powerful trait of true confidence is nonchalance, the ability to remain utterly unmoved when the world is screaming for your reaction. The man who can't be provoked, who doesn't rush to prove himself, who sits in silence while others burn themselves out, that man holds all the power. And once you understand this, once you master it, you stop playing the game of the weak and force everyone else to play yours. 1. A story of the unshakable. Let me tell you a story. A man once walked into a high-stakes negotiation. On the other side of the table sat executives, lawyers, men who were used to breaking people down with pressure. They tried everything. Long silences, aggressive questions, fake laughter, thinly veiled insults. Most people would have cracked. They would have filled the silence with explanations. They would have defended themselves, raised their voices, spilled their intentions. But this man did nothing. He sat there, calm, still. He looked at them like he already knew how the game would end. Minutes felt like hours. The pressure shifted. The executives, uncomfortable with his composure, started making mistakes. They talked too much. They gave away information they didn't mean to. In the end, he walked away with everything he wanted, without raising his voice once. That man wasn't just confident, he was untouchable. And that's the difference. Machiavelli would say, appear calm in chaos. Stability is itself a weapon. Confidence isn't in the flex of your muscles or the volume of your voice. It's in the way you stay still when others lose control. 2. The Machiavellian principle. Machiavelli understood something most men today don't. Attention is currency. Reactions are payments. Every time you explain yourself, every time you argue back, every time you let your emotions spill, you're making withdrawals from your power. The nonchalant man, he doesn't waste. He hoards. He invests. He lets silence work for him. Think about it. When a king shows panic, his kingdom crumbles. When a leader shows desperation, vultures circle. But when a ruler appears unshaken, even if the walls are burning, the people believe in his strength. Perception becomes reality. Machiavelli called it the mask of dominance, a mask so powerful that others believe in it even more than you do. 3. Why nonchalance terrifies people. Humans hate the unknown. We crave patterns, explanations, predictability. If you laugh, we know you're amused. If you get angry, we know we hit a nerve. But if you show nothing, if you give no clue, that's terrifying. It forces people to project their fears onto you. They start imagining that you know more than you do. They start thinking you're smarter, stronger, more dangerous than reality. This is why the silent character in movies always feels the most threatening. Think of Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. He didn't need to shout. He didn't need to posture. His stillness was enough to make men sweat bullets. That's what nonchalance does. It makes people unsure, and uncertainty always breeds fear. 4. The red pill of confidence. Here's the truth most men refuse to swallow. If you're reactive, you're weak. If you're unshakable, you're powerful. When you can't control your reactions, you've handed the keys of your mind to the world. Anyone who knows your triggers can pull your strings. This is why women test men with silence or disrespect. This is why bosses push buttons. This is why enemies throw insults. They're probing for weakness, and most men, they break. They defend themselves, explain themselves, justify themselves. But the man who remains calm, the man who doesn't flinch, that's the man they respect, because nothing is more intimidating than someone you cannot move. 5. The psychological traps you set. Nonchalance is not passive. It's not laziness. It's a weapon, a psychological trap. Here's what happens when you master it. Uncertainty. People don't know what you're thinking, so they overthink. Overthinking leads to mistakes. Respect. Calmness under fire looks like competence. If you're not shaken, you must know something they don't. Frustration. Manipulators rely on your reaction. If you don't give it, they unravel. Mystery. Your silence forces others to project depth onto you. You seem larger than life. Control. In groups, the most composed man naturally takes the top position. Nonchalance bends reality. You don't chase people, they chase you. You don't rush deals, they adjust to your pace. You don't fight for approval, they fight for yours. That's not confidence, that's power. 6. The training of the unshakable. But let's be clear, nonchalance isn't born, it's trained, and most men will never master it because it requires discipline sharper than a blade. Here's how you forge it. Delay your reactions. Don't jump at every notification, insult, or opportunity. Slow down. Make people adjust to your tempo. Control the face. Train your micro expressions. No twitch, no raised brow, no flinch. Practice in the mirror. Master silence. Stop filling the void with useless chatter. Let others drown in it. Strategic absence. Be less available. Presence loses power when overexposed. Calm in defeat. Win with composure. Lose with composure. Never let them see you bleed. Economy of words. Speak less, mean more. Every word becomes heavier. Machiavelli warned rulers. The appearance of power often outweighs its reality. This is the essence of nonchalance. It's not that you feel nothing, it's that you reveal nothing. 7. Weaponizing nonchalance. Now here's where it gets lethal. Once you've mastered stillness, you can weaponize it. You can use it offensively. Want to unsettle a rival? Stay silent when they insult you. Watch them burn themselves alive with their own anger. Want to gain better terms in business? Delay your response. Let the other side stew in anxiety. Want to increase attraction? Withdraw. Make them wonder why you don't chase like the rest. Your silence becomes the blade. Your absence becomes the strike. Remember in The Godfather when Michael Corleone barely raised his voice, even while planning murders? His stillness was more terrifying than shouting could ever be. That's the weapon of nonchalance. 8. The dangers. But let me warn you, misuse this trait and it will cut you instead. Paralysis. Too much calm becomes hesitation. Sometimes you must strike. Arrogance. Overdo it and you look cold or inhuman. Silent enemies. If you dismiss people entirely, they'll conspire in the shadows. Hollow mask. If you wear it too long, you might forget who you are beneath it. Machiavelli said, "A prince must learn when to be the fox and when to be the lion." Nonchalance is the fox. It deceives, it unsettles, it protects. But when the moment comes, you must be the lion. 9. Rising beyond their claws. The most powerful trait of true confidence isn't in how much noise you make. It's in how much chaos you can endure without flinching. When you master nonchalance, you stop reacting to the world, and the world starts reacting to you. People will lower their voices when they speak to you. They'll measure their words. They'll seek your approval because you've made yourself untouchable. In a world addicted to noise, the man who cannot be provoked becomes the deadliest weapon. Remember this: the impatient bow to the calm bow to the patient, and the patient bow to the nonchalant. That's the hierarchy. That's the hidden law Machiavelli knew. So ask yourself, will you keep giving away your power with every reaction, or will you become the man who can't be shaken? Because once you learn the art of true nonchalance, you stop living in the chaos of others and start ruling in silence. And nothing is more terrifying than a man who does not flinch. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, let me know by writing power in the comments. And if you want to see more videos, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.